Hello, my name is Kaelene. Welcome to the Book Buddies. Today I'm going to do the top 14 books that I read in 2014. This was really hard to do. Really hard. It was hard to decide what order to put the books in, and it's quite possible that some people might kill me. Hopefully not, but you know. Yeah. So, let's get started. Book number 14 is Counting by Sevens by Holly Goldberg Sloan. I borrowed this from the library, so I don't have a copy of it. This book is about this girl in junior high who's really smart. And then something happens to her foster parents, and it's about her dealing with that and the people that she meets along the way. I like this book, but it kind of wound up in top 14 by default because I kind of went through all my 5 stars and 4 stars, and then I was like, oh hey, I have 13. What's next? Yeah, you work. So it was good, but you know, there's a reason it's number 14. Number 13 is The Giver by Lois Lowry. This book is about a kid named Jonas, and he lives in a society where everything's perfect. When he turns 12, he's given the job as the giver, and the giver holds all the memories from the people's past. I like the giver, I don't know, I didn't really connect very well with it, I guess. Like, it was interesting, but when I finished it, it was kind of more confused than anything. I might reread this eventually. I mean, it's short enough. I liked it, I just kind of confused by it, I guess. Book number 12 is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This might be where people want to start killing me, I don't know. The Fault in Our Stars is about this girl named Hazel Grace Lancaster, and one day at her cancer support group meeting, she meets Augustus Waters. And yeah, if you don't know what this is about, you probably live underneath a rock, because even I know what this is about. Well, obviously I read it, but you know. It was good and everything. Like, there were parts that made me laugh, and obviously parts that I got really upset. I didn't cry because I don't really cry with books. Like, I just don't. I don't know why. I'm heartless. But anyway, it was really good. I don't know. I just don't feel like I reacted the way I should have to it. It didn't make much of an impact, I guess, that sounds really bad. But yeah. Book number 11 is called Daddy's Gone Hunting. It's by Mary Higgins Clark. I don't have a copy of this. It's actually my mom's, and I'm not going to go get it. It's about this CPA named Kate, and for some strange reason, she and one of her father's employees are in their warehouse when it blows up. There's a lot of characters, so it's really easy to get confused, but it's also really good. And usually with mysteries, if I can't figure out who it is by the ending, I know it's really good, and pretty much all of Mary Higgins Clark's books are like that. There are a lot of twists and turns at the end that I didn't really expect, so I like that one. Number 10 is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. This book is about a boy named Thomas, and he wakes up in an elevator that leads up into the maze, where there's a bunch of other boys who all they remember is their name, and they're trying to find a way out of the maze. When it started off, I was not very impressed. I was kind of confused and just kind of but then there was one certain point where as soon as that happened, I was totally sucked into the rest of the book, and it was really good. It was so good I actually went and saw the movie. So yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Book number 9 is Leaving Time by Jodi Picoult. This book is about a 13-year-old girl named Jenna, and her mom has been missing for 10 years. And she disappeared under strange circumstances. Like, she checked herself out of a hospital after something that happened. But Jenna doesn't want to believe that her mom just walked away, and so she's been trying to find her. I'm kind of going out on a limb on this one because I haven't finished it, but so far it's really good. I don't know, just the writing's really interesting. It's from a bunch of different points of view. Like, there's not one character that I like more than the others because they're all just really good. And it's really interesting. I'm really not sure like where it's gonna go, but I like it. And like the writing is just really, it's really, I don't know how to describe the writing. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to figure out how it ends. So yeah, and also it's so pretty. I love this cover. Book number 8 is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. It is based off of Cinderella, but it takes place in the future. And the main character is a cyborg named Cinder. But anyway, yeah, the one thing that I didn't like about this book is I figured out the plot twist in the very beginning. And I don't know if it was just that obvious or what. But yeah, I was kind of like, oh, dang. But other than that, I really liked it. I thought it was really interesting how the author took the story of Cinderella, but then she put a lot of twists on it and kind of made it her own. And yeah, I just really like that. Number 7 is False Memory by Dean Koontz. I checked this one out from the library, so I don't have it with me anymore. At the very, very basic, it's a story about this woman named Marty, and one day she pretty much becomes afraid of herself. And there's a lot more to it than that, but I don't really know how to explain it without giving away a lot. I really like this book. It was really fast-paced, and a lot of it kind of creeped me out. Like, I would just be reading it, and it's like, how did the author come up with this stuff? Because it is creepy. But it was really good, and towards the end, just things started happening really, really quickly, and I couldn't put it down. It was that good. Okay, the next 2 books that I'm going to talk about are actually series, but it was really, really, really hard for me to make up my mind between these 2, and this is probably the part where people are going to get really, really mad at me, but it took me forever to make up my mind. Like, I went back and forth a lot, and yeah, I finally made a decision. Hopefully I don't go back on that. But I'm going to say that number 6 is going to be the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. You probably know what Divergent's about. If you don't, once again, you probably live underneath a rock. Yeah, basically it's about this girl named Triss. She lives in a society where there are factions. You choose your faction, and that's the one you're stuck with for life. Yeah, I'm not going to go any more into detail on that. But yeah, I just really like Divergent, and I thought the idea of it was really interesting, and I just really liked the characters, and I don't know, it hooked me, and at the moment, I can't think of why. It did. I was really interested to know what happened to everyone. And I just really liked the story and the twists and the turns. And yeah, it was really good. The one thing that upset me was I got spoiled for the last book. So that might have changed how I feel about the whole series. Like, if I hadn't seen that coming, how would that have changed how I like the series? But other than that, like, there wasn't really anything that I didn't like about it. Like, it was just really good. And then number 5 is The Lord of the Rings. Once again, if you don't know what this is about, just go, okay, pause the video for bookmark the video, go read The Lord of the Rings, come back, and watch this video again, because you just need to read it, okay? That's just something that you need to read. Anyway, the reason I was having so much trouble deciding between The Lord of the Rings and Divergent, one, they're really different. Like, completely different genres, so I have an excuse there. But also, like, part of The Lord of the Rings, like, it gets a little slow, and so it's kind of, sometimes it's hard to keep yourself reading. But it's also really good, and I love the storytelling, and I love the situations, and I love how J.R.R. Tolkien came up with just the storyline and the conflicts that they go through, and just the way everything's solved, and like I love the last part, the Return of the King, like towards the end. Like I just love that part, and the characters are just so amazing, and just yeah, I don't even know how to explain this, but yeah, just yeah. Number 4 is The 17-Second Miracle by Jason F. Wright. This book is about a man and how something that happened in 17 seconds changed his life. And after that, he started changing other people's lives 17 seconds at a time. This book took me by surprise. I was not expecting it to be this good. And when it started off, I was just kind of like, oh, you know, yeah. But then the more I got into it, the more I don't know, the story just drew me in. And by the time it got to the end, it was just, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it was just really heartwarming, I guess. It's one of those books that makes you want to, like, go out and make a difference in the world. And, yeah, it just took me by surprise. I was not expecting that. Number 3 is the Mrs. Mike series by Benedict and Nancy Friedman. The first book takes place in the 1800s. It's about this girl named Catherine Mary O'Fallon, and she lives in Boston, but her mother sends her to Canada to live with her uncle because they think the climate will be better for her lungs. And while she's there, she meets Sergeant Mike Flanagan, and it's just about their stories. And then the second one continues on the story, and then there's a third one that I really want to get. I didn't even know there was a third one, but I want it now. These books are so good that I reread them. Just the story, it's just so good. And like the characters, like they're hard to forget. And just I don't know how to explain these books, but just it's so, they're so good, I can't explain why they're good. That's all I can say. Number 2 is the first 2 books in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. Those are the only books I got to. But that would be The Lightning Thief and The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. And once again, if you don't know what these are about, you just need to read more books if you don't know what these are about. Anyway, yeah, these are just freaking incredible. Like, you know, like they're just so good. Like, I've reread these also, and just, I don't know, the characters and the story, and these are books that once you start reading, you don't want to put them down. And like, they're funny, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and just, it's so good. It's so good. I don't even know what to say. And then the number 1 book probably is not that much of a shocker, but you know, it's The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Words fail me. This book is about a girl named Liesel, and she lives in Germany during World War II. This book is so good. Like, first off, I love the writing style. Like, the writing style is incredible. I've never read anything like that, and it just blows me away. Like, there's parts that I would just reread over and over and over again just because I loved how they were written, like the unique way they were written. The story was incredible. Like, you get so attached to the characters. It's so depressing because, like, you do get so attached to the characters. But, like, the last few pages, I was really depressed, and then the ending was perfect. And so, yeah, this book is definitely number 1 for 2014. So that was my top 14 of 2014. Yeah, some of that probably didn't make any sense. I'm really bad at explaining things. But yeah, I read a lot of really good books this year. And yeah, it was a good year for reading. Katie and I have a lot more videos planned. So yeah, those will be up soon. In the meantime, I'll be finishing this. So I will see you later. Bye! There's a lot. horrible synopsis. I don't know. I love this book, and why is this so hard to explain how much I love this book?